My bag. Hey, we are live. Welcome to the Designers Show. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing great.
Man. Cool.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
nice to see everybody again.
Yeah, no kidding. Second show of the year. 2025 is blowing by as fast as 2024 did. So what's new, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the joy of what we do.
Don't
Days
rush it.
go
Don't
fast.
rush it.
I know. It's just like, but hey, in 2 months we'll be together again. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
So 2 months from today, 17th, is when we will be meeting at the summit. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, all right, people are starting to log in, and we'll get started in just a minute. You guys got any updates for the year? Renee, you were mentioning people keep asking if you're safe there in California.
Oh no, you guys,
Yeah,
I just ordered.
I am safe in California.
My Space Mouse is coming today.
Oh,
look at
you
that.
finally
I
got
am
one,
going
huh?
to be actively using it at the summit. I will be a pro by the time summits, but I didn't buy the one with the keyboard. I just bought the mouse.
That's good. Yeah.
If I get the keyboard, then somebody's gonna have to program it for me because that's like a whole lifetime a process, and I'm not going to do it.
I got the keyboard, and it's a wonderful wrist resting device.
It's very expensive for that, right?
But I don't
Dan,
use
we
any of the
could've gotten you
keys.
a less expensive option.
Yes.
We should do a little night 3D mouse session at the summit for people that have them.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea
kind of
to
fun.
really do that. And that way, because a lot of people have it. Hey, Bruce is on. Hi, Bruce. Hi, Ebony.
Oh, I got to say hi to
Hey, Jeffrey.
Brad.
Back to the Space Mouse for a second.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to just say thank you, Brad. Brad became a member of my channel. Appreciate you.
Cool. Awesome.
Say it, John.
For a second. I have the I've had all three of them, and now I have the small one for my new laptop, and just because I don't have the room for the big one, I missed the control and the shift key because I can hold those keys down and still use the Space Mouse when I'm selecting things.
But you said
Stuff
you
like
haven't
that.
programmed that into your new one?
I can do it on the one side, but it's kind of hard to use the Space Mouse without your thumb on the other side of the little one. So
put control and shift on your mouse, your right mouse.
Could do that. That might be it.
That's what I have. I have mine. It's on my thumb. Is control and shift right there.
Yeah, I use space and delete over there.
But
But
oh well, just get more buttons on your mouse.
Yep.
Need more buttons.
Yep, there you go. All right, cool. Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about 5 more things. There's always more things to talk about, isn't there?
Don't sound so glum about it.
I just think, there's 1,300. There's 1,300 icons in Chief. Which one should we talk about today? Or one of the many thousands of options in all of the hundreds of menus that we've got.
It's always great.
I won't
when
be
you do
long,
this,
I
and we
promise.
dig deep into something that we're not used to using. So I think it's a great idea.
We'll have some fun. So let's go ahead and get started on that, I suppose, huh? And let me bring up my screen here. John, you want to switch to show my screen, please? Remember, when I have this PowerPoint up, I can't see anything.
I'm gonna switch way up. There you go.
Got it? The 5 things you must know about Chief Architect plus Q&A today. Show number 143. Been doing this a while, you guys. We started this back in 2020 for COVID. I did it because of COVID. Something to do. And we're still doing it. So it's pretty cool. And I love having you guys being part of the show. So it's really cool. I don't know where Kevin is today. I haven't talked to him. He's probably just busy being retired or whatever he's doing these days. Anyway, but I know he loves being on the shows too. So 5 things you must know about Chief Architect, or really 5 more things you can learn about Chief that will help you draw plans faster. There's really not any one must-know thing about Chief Architect, and you'll never stop learning this program. There's always new ways to do things. So I use the same slide in the 10 mistakes Chief Architect users make. It's just like, whatever. By the way, go to my blog at Chief Experts, and I've been posting. If you haven't been getting my emails, I've been posting the 10 mistakes or 10 new things you can learn with short clips. We kind of just edited out a bunch of stuff and did some short clips, and they're pretty nice. They've been coming out really well, so having fun with that. But let's, here's your team, your designer show team: Dan, John, Kevin, Renee, and Robin. And you can get a hold of any of us for any of your design needs or chief architect questions or any of that kind of stuff. So feel free to reach out to any of us. We're all independent, and we all love helping all you guys out there in the chief world. So feel free to reach out for anything. And Renee, what do you got to sell today? You got anything good for sale on your site?
Yeah, I do. The area analysis package that's in my plan template is now a breakout package, so you can buy it and put it in your own template. If you don't want to use my template, you could
need to show it to us and show us how it works.
Let's see. I want to cue my screen. There we go. It should work just like this. You just start drawing and it produces this area analysis for you. So
Wow.
if I did a new plan and just drew out some walls, there's a few little cool tips and tricks for this, which is that it's meant to recognize any room that room type that has the word addition in it. So if you are remodel, this works particularly well. So notice I put that as addition, and then wherever you're going to store the set of schedules that comes with this. In my case, it's in a project information section. It's going to pick up that there's some kind of new coverage there from that addition. Gives you total coverage, gives you conditioned area, unconditioned area on a floor by floor basis. You can format this for acres or square foot, for lot size. It even gives you a way to do impervious areas that's either driven from rooms automatically or from a polyline. And I have a pretty robust set of instructions for this too. So
Cool.
I actually took the time to write up instructions for once, which almost never happens.
How to use it?
What's that?
How to use it?
How to use it. I know, it's incredible.
Wow.
What a concept. But yeah,
I know.
here it is, area analysis package. And when you click on it, I even give you a an example download in case you want to just take a look at the install instructions and see if it's something that you think you can do. And
Nice.
or you could pay me to install it for you. It actually comes, that's not true. I said it comes complimentary with install. I will install it for you. So I even give you a schedule link for installing it.
Nice.
So yeah, if you're trying to do automatic area analysis, go pick that up.
Renee, you never cease to amaze. Nice job.
Thanks.
Nice job. So, and I'm sure you'll talk a lot about that at the summit, which is coming up. All right, let's
Chad's impressed.
go on.
Chad's impressed.
What?
Ready for it.
Better go get it. All right, you guys. So yeah, reach out to us if you have any questions or you want to talk about anything. And John, I know you do. You help people with plans and training and all that sort of good stuff. And I'm working diligently on the new Pro Academy. So call John, don't call me, or Renee or Robin or Kevin, because I need all my time right now to get this stuff all ready. So I'm really looking forward to this. So, and again, coming soon, the all new Pro Academy. So if you're interested, you want to be notified about it. If you're already a member of the Pro Academy, you're good to go. Don't worry about anything. Nothing's going to change for you other than you can get all this new stuff. If you're not a member, you could go sign the wait list. If you go to chiefexperts.com, at the top of the screen, you can join the wait list and we'll let you know about it. It's kind of, next few weeks we'll launch it. And then the Total Immersion Summit coming up in the March 17th is when we start arriving, 2 months from now. So please check it out if you have questions. It's on the homepage. And I just posted a video on the homepage that we talk about the summit. So check that out. It's actually not on the homepage. It's on that ad for the homepage. And go to the summit page and you'll find more information about it. So cool event. All of us will be there. And we look forward to really, really helping you in your business and helping you with chief architects. So it's not just about chief. It's about the whole business that you're in. Just on with Kevin and or Judy the other day, and she's starting to put together her schedule, all things she's going to talk about. So we got some cool stuff coming your way. All right. So let's talk about the first one of the 5 things that you must know about Chief Architect. Or again, a cool thing to learn about. I don't know if any of you guys are aware of the edit, save, and save as page view icons. Okay. Every time you open a view in Chief Architect, that screen itself is its own view. It's its own screen. It's not tied to anything else. So they're all unique. You can open the dialog and change settings for the view you're looking at. It doesn't matter if it's a floor plan, CAD detail window. Doesn't matter what view it is, 3D view, render view. It's a unique screen that has its own unique settings, and you can change those. So you can edit and save those screens. You can do a save as and copy those screens and then change them. And you can create all the views in advance before you put them on the layout page. I've been doing it with the plans I've been working on, and it saves us a lot of time. And then then you can just, any viewport on the layout can hold any of the views that you've created. So get used to using your project manager. Let's go look at that for a second and talk about what you could do with that. So I'm talking about these three icons right here. Okay. So now again, let's just switch back to the standard toolbar here and see where they are there. Yep. So here they are. So they're up here as well. So it doesn't matter which toolbar you're using. This is your plan views if you're using Chief's default toolbar. And those are the three icons I'm talking about. What do they do and why do you need them? So I'm going to switch back to my toolbar configuration, which is the extended tools. All right. So what you do is you are in your view, and at any time you can edit these views. So plan views are already pre-programmed in views. So when I click on this little icon with the pencil on it, the edit the view icon, it's already named because I've named it with the plan view. Because I could change that and edit that name of that view right now if I wanted to. I'm going to leave that alone. And then here's all the things that are associated with this view. So this, when I open the dialog for this kind of a view, it's going to be different than when I open a dialog for a 3D view. So let's do that real quick. So let's open up a dialog for a 3D view. Bring up an overview. All right, there it is. And then let's click that same icon. Get a few different icons, get some different things here now. So one of the things you want to get used to doing when you're doing this, and I do a lot of 3D views on my screen, on my plans, my finished plans, I do it. Of course, you're going to do elevations, you're going to do cross sections, you're going to do schedules, you're going to do area schedules, that kind of stuff. So first thing you want to do is name this. So I'm just going to call this a front 3D overview. And the reason I want to do this is because I want to be able to use my project browser to manage all these views I'm going to create. So I'm in a front 3D overview. Now I could go through and start editing some of these things. I could, the position of the camera, what shows up below grade, all of those different elements, change the camera style to, physically based, whatever style you want to see this view in. So you have all these functions that you could do with this particular view. All right. So that's cool. So that we could do all that. So there's my front view. I just changed it again. I clicked this icon and then I moved my camera. All right. So now it's different than what I first started with. So I need to be aware of that and then click this icon to save the new setting. All right, so this is now the new view is locked in place here. And the other thing you use this for is this icon right now is what you want to use. So I'm going to create different views right now without having to go back to the floor plan and drop a new camera. So I'm going to save this view as, and Chief will automatically rename it something else, overview 1, 2, 3, 4. You can change the whole name if you want to. Now I could go ahead and rotate this, and maybe I should have named it side view. I could go back to do that later, but let's save it. In fact, I could go to put in my browser right now and go to my floor, my cameras, overviews. There's front overview 1. I'm going to rename this one right now, side overview. Side, I'll call it my right side. It's just project, it's just keeping track of the things that you're adding in your plan all the time. Each time you create a new view, save it with the proper name and you're good to go. Okay, so let's say that, okay, I've made some changes here. I've rotated a little bit. Okay, I'm going to save that. Done. Now I'm going to make another copy of it. I'll call it my back view 3D overview. And yeah, good enough. And click OK. Now I've got a new camera. I could rotate it like this, save the new position. I've just created 3 new views that I could put on my layout at any time. So on your layout, all you have to do is click on any viewport, copy a viewport if you need to, and then open the dialog for that viewport and change it to the listing that you have on here. And that's what will show up in that viewport.
Dan, will you show which icon you use again to create it first? So once you open the screen up, where do you see it?
So again, I'm in this view. If you notice, this icon's grayed out.
Right.
Okay, so that means this view is up to date and saved. All right.
Okay, so rotate your camera again.
But to make a new one, I'm going to click the last icon here with a little diskette on it. For those of us that are old enough to remember what a diskette is. That's the save, create a copy of this view. All right, so I'm going to call this my left side 3D view. So just it's really nice to get used to naming all your views as you're creating them. If you're just opening a camera and closing it, don't worry about that. But if you're creating views that you're going to use on the final plan, name them so you can go back to them at any time.
And name them what you want them to say on your viewport on the layout, because you can use that automatic label.
Exactly. That's going to be your new label. That's going to be your label for the view on the layout. So I moved this. Now this icon is not grayed out. So now I have to click save. Done. So I've just created 4 views. I could close this view now, go to my layout. I could switch to any view here. I created a new plan, not new layout. Let's go new layout, new layout. And I'll switch to a different page size. And let's throw a viewport on here. I'll just throw my floor plan on there. I'll send that to the layout. Click OK. There's my floor plan. There's my viewport. I'll make that viewport smaller. Okay, I can crop over that. And let's say, okay, I want to keep that view. And I'm going to create another view. So I'm going to just copy, pull that view off, open its dialog, go to my linked view, relink it to something else. In this case, I'm going to go link it to my plan, my cameras, my overviews. There's those 4 views I just created. And when you click on them, it'll show the view right here. Click OK. Let's see, I'll do my front view there. Click OK. Click OK again. It's going to populate that. A lot of times you got to click the refresh button. This little button down here to refresh the viewport. And then your view will show up.
If it's a camera.
Huh?
If it's a camera, you have to do that. If it's
I don't know why they make us do that. It's a pain in the butt. And then then they need to adjust that in the viewport, or the, what do you guys call it? The view box or something?
Layout box.
Layout box. Yeah, I still call it viewport. And then I can resize that to be whatever I want. So I might have to go into the camera, reopen it, it's linked to that camera now. Now I could go in here, do it, save it, close it, refresh the view. And
Dan, will you scroll in to show where the label shows up so that way Margaret can see that? And then you can turn that
on. Margaret, you emailed yesterday. So all you have to do with any of your viewports, any of your layout boxes, all right, is click on it, open its dialog, choose what kind of label you want from the label. I'm going to use marker or callout. So for your elevations and things like that, where you have a callout on the floor plan, this is view A, B, C, D, you want to use a callout. If it's a floor plan, use a marker. So if we're going to use a callout, I'm going to go edit. I'm going to call out label. That's what I named this view. See, it says front 3D overview. I'm going to probably, a lot of times you don't, that's the page number there. I'm going to get rid of that. I don't need that on this view. I just need the layout label. Attributes, you can change the size, the spacing, selection arrow, turn that off, click OK. You know, if you want to have the scale under there, that would be part of an attribute. So you're going to put box scale. This is not a box scaled box, so I'm not going to do that. And you're done. So that's your label.
Nice.
And then if I move this to page 2, so let's say I copy that and I go to page 2 and paste it. Notice it won't put the 2 under there. If it's a floor plan or if it's a view that you have the 2 items, the top and bottom with the page number, it'll change this automatically. However, back on my floor plan, if I changed that view to something else, that label would update automatically. So I hope that helps, Margaret. If that's
You went
way too
fast.
let me finish my 5 points and we'll do it again. All right. I know. I'm
Actually, can I show something real quick, Dan?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is right on line with what you were just doing. When we're making new camera views, and this comes up a lot in the Facebook groups, is let's just say I've got, I'm going to turn on some electrical here. Say I've got electrical in one room, electrical in another room, and I only want to show, I want to make sure all my lights are turned on for the room that my camera is in. So let's say I've got a camera now in this room. A lot of times when people are building out these projects and they've got a ton of lights, they don't know why maybe one light is not turned on in their particular view. So if you are saving views for a particular view, so we're doing the same thing that Dan was doing, which is save active view as, and making a new camera, right? And we'll call it kitchen camera. And it's going to open up a dialog box if I go to edit the active view. So I'm editing the active view, and then in this camera specification, we do have the ability to make a new light set. And this is so that we're guaranteeing with our kitchen camera that we have our kitchen lights turned on. And so instead of using the default light set, I'm going to click on adjust lights. I wish this said create new light set, because that would make more sense. So click on the adjust lights button, and here's where we can create a new light set. And when we do that, we get to name it. So I get to say kitchen only. Oops, your same problem, Dan. Typos. And then that automatically turns off all lights. Now I need to go sort by room, which you can sort just by clicking this. There's no feedback on that, so you don't necessarily know it does something, but clicking on these headings does sort by that heading. So here we go. There's all my kitchen lights. I can group select them by holding shift and then selecting the lowest one in that stack. And then I can click on the on button. So now that's saying that with the kitchen only light set, everything's turned on. With the default light set, or actually it's the inverse. So now I'm associating that kitchen only light set is going to be the active light set for this view. So now I've got a saved kitchen camera where I'm making sure that the kitchen only light set is turned on. There we go. Now I know these lights will be turned on the next time I open this view.
Perfect.
All right, Dan, I'm going to put you back.
Nice.
I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dan, we're back on your screen.
She's gotten a bit better with all of that stuff. So, where'd my screen go? Got turned off. Silly thing. Hold on. What's going on here? Present.
Stop sharing.
Screen.
Stop sharing.
There it is. It did stop sharing. Let's see. I want to go to this. About this. Okay, there we go. Thank you. So let me go back to my little presentation here. So I hope that was helpful for everyone. Someone mentioned the link viewport on layout. Never send a view to layout more than once. Someone taught me that. That was pretty cool. All right, number 2, using the project browser. I think I kind of covered that one a little bit already, but let's just go look at the project browser for a bit. So the project browser is that little plan management tool that you can use throughout the plan with just about any kind of things that you do in your plan. So when we look at that, we've got our CAD details. Okay, so that would be, am I in the right thing? I'm on my layout. I don't want to be there. I want to be here. So here's my CAD details. Here in this particular plan, there's a door schedule, and you always get a preview of it down here. Truss detail, which Chief does automatically, and then window schedule. So I don't have much in my CAD detail. That's if you go look at your program, that's this icon right here. This is the CAD detail where we can store different things that we do in our plan, like schedules and details and pictures and just about anything that you want. That's not 3D. It's all 2D stuff. Overviews and again, as I showed you before, okay, I want to rename that a little bit so it's up to date, so I can right click on it. Just again, get used to your right click button because it does a lot. I want to rename this and I'll fix the typo that I did here and get rid of my big V and put the little v, and good enough. So that's my new label, and that's what's going to show up on the final plan when I'm done. I believe I can double click on this right here and open it too. So there it goes. So now I'm in that view. You can double click any of these in the project browser to open your view. It took me a while to get used to this. Didn't realize all the functionality that was there. Of course, I'm not even sure when they added some of this functionality to the project browser. But here's all my elevations, front elevation, left, right. Okay, I could edit this view, which means it's going to open up the same menu as if I click that little icon with the pencil. Okay, if I click that little icon right there, so right click on it, edit view, it's the same as clicking that pencil. So that's really handy. Now I could go change. Well, maybe in this one I want to show a standard camera instead of a vector view.
All right. Well, you bring up a good point. Now group select all those elevations.
Oh, can we do that too?
Yeah. And edit
nice.
all views. You can edit all of them to make the same edit.
It's not going to open a new. Oh yeah, see there it says no change. But if I want them all to be standard views.
Now, what if you wanted to put that back to no change? We know this trick.
Select no change.
Yeah, oh well, they gave us no change back, huh? As a scrolling up option. That seems new.
Did that used to not be there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's a good trick, Renee, because sometimes I forget to get my labels on my viewports going.
Yeah.
Oh, I can just go there instead of going to each page and selecting what's on the page and doing that. I could go here and select everything.
Yeah. Get the labels on at one time.
Mm-hmm.
They're okay. Do this for me. Let's do a test.
Okay.
Go hit cancel.
Okay.
Open one view, just one of them, or edit one view. Change that 600 to 400 in clip width down at the bottom.
Okay.
Okay, press OK. Now group select all four, edit all. Okay, now we got no change. Go ahead and punch something in there. And don't hit enter. Okay, and click in like the 0. No, don't click OK. Click the 0, 0 or whatever just to commit that change. 800. Okay. If you go back to clip width and type in N.
Back down here, just type N.
Yeah, just N and tab out of it.
No change.
There you go. That
Perfect.
reverts it back to no change.
Okay, cool. Or we can set it back.
It was Dermot told us that at the last training at Chief Architect.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So
I also got another trick for you. Press OK or cancel or whatever here.
Okay.
Probably cancel. If you're on a Windows machine, I know this works. Will you double click the project browser heading at the very top?
Up here?
Where it says project browser?
Oh, this.
The top heading. Yeah. Double click that.
Puts it back over here in the
docks
side.
it, right?
Yeah.
And then undock it for a second.
I just double click again.
Double click again. If you hit Windows key and left together.
Windows key and L. Oops. What did I just do?
Oh, we lost your window.
Your screen.
Log me out of it. It put me into sleep mode.
Oh, that's funny.
That
should have expanded that project browser to half your screen.
Okay. Let's see. Hang on here. I want to get back to this one. Share. Okay.
You must have a hotkey that overrides that.
You hitting the left arrow or the L button?
I hit the L button.
Oh no, do window key left arrow with the project browser
Okay.
targeted.
Didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything?
Oh, there it did half. Okay.
Yeah.
So it made it half the screen. You could do that.
Yeah, and that
too.
works for library browser and Aldo
Okay.
as well. I like it for library browser. Sometimes the thing's just too small for how much
Yeah.
info.
I
is
don't know.
in it.
I'm always floating my stuff around anyway and have it on my other screen. So, and I'm just used to that method. So cool. All right. So there we go. Project
All right,
browser.
What's number 3?
Number 3. What is number 3? Copying dimensions. You even asked about this one, Renee. Would you do that for?
Yeah, what'd you do that for?
Yeah.
I would-
Okay. I do this a lot actually. So sometimes, because Chief only gives us 3 strings of dimensions when we do our auto dimensions. Okay. So when we do auto dimensions, we get 1, 2, 3 lines of dimensions. And sometimes I need more because I've got some extra walls or windows. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just click on my dimension here, and I have Control C set up, but I would just hit my copy button and then drag that off, hit tab if you want to space it exactly, 18 or 12 or however far you want to go. So it's just like copying a CAD line. Then I'll just go ahead and add my dimensions back into where I want to go, and I'm done. I don't have to draw a dimension and move it around. I just, copy, drag it over, add your points, or remove your points if that's the case. You don't want those points in there. So I find that really easy to do. So it'd be like if I was doing these cabinets here and I wanted to, get a full length on the cabinet. So I'll throw that one in first. And then I'll hit, Control C and copy that because I want to leave that there. And then I'll just add my points in where I want them. So it's a little easier than just trying to draw a dimension because sometimes you get so many points that you don't really want. I find this to be a lot faster.
Can you
Yeah, John.
copy? Can you select more than one dimensional line at a time?
To copy it?
Yeah.
I think so. It's just like selecting CAD lines.
Okay. So now go ahead and put your 4th line in there and just pull it, and then use the line. Is it align objects to space them out equally?
Oh, sure. Well, that way I'm not going to add more. I'll just click on the ones I want to space equally, right?
Right. Yep.
And then use the align distribute. Oh no, this one. Yeah, this one. So I would want to move them
horizontally.
I want to space evenly. Click OK, and that's going to put them all equally spaced. Yep. So I suppose if I had one here.
Okay, wait, Dan, show that button again.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's this button right here. Okay, right here down on the edit toolbar.
And that will space all of them.
Yeah, so you got to select. You got to make your selection here. I don't want to do anything up and down. I just want to do it back and forth. So space evenly. And I've selected this one here and this one out here. So now these should move in to be spaced evenly. Let's see if it works. And it did. But it spaced it evenly between this point and this point. So it just put the other two equal. So if I wanted to narrow this up quite a bit, I could just go like that and then hit space evenly. And
yeah, Margaret, your witness line should never touch your drawings. The only witness line that's really supposed to touch your drawing is your center line. That's the only witness line.
So what's a witness line?
A witness line is the line that goes from the dimension line to the drawing. The dimension line is the line. So you have 2 lines. What's that?
Chief calls these extension lines. You call them
so that line, what you have selected, that's called the witness line.
Okay.
The dimension line, the one that has the dimension on it, is called your dimension line.
Right.
Your witness line should never actually touch your drawing. It's supposed to be like 3/16 of an inch off. I think that's the way it's basically set up.
Yeah, that can be changed.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Chief doesn't do that. Sometimes you do have to modify it a little bit. I have issues with that on occasion, but
It's a
honestly,
default.
Margaret, everybody does things a little differently nowadays. So technically, the only witness line that's supposed to touch your drawing is a center line of something.
Where it goes over the item or next.
Yeah,
right
where
in
it
front
has to
of
go over
So-
the object that you're dimensioning.
So again, Chief calls those extension lines, and that's something you can set up in your defaults.
Right.
Oh, okay, so they call
in your,
them
in your
extension lines.
dimensions, it's called extension/markers. And you can set the length away right here in your defaults, or you could, I could uncheck it here. Now I could change that. So if I go away from the defaults, I could change those. Let's make them bigger away from the object. So the line I just selected, we won't see it because I've got these other lines here. That should be 6 inches away now, right?
It is.
What else is going on? There's something else. Do I have an extra one there?
It's away from it, isn't it?
Oh, there was a line there. That's what it was. So I was just we were seeing this line underneath there, but now it's 6 inches away. You can set those up. You could do that independently too with each. You could do it for the whole as your defaults or on independent line.
And then you could set those up in your defaults originally, like you just said. Sorry, Dan.
Good.
And then Margaret, then it's all set up for you. But it depends upon sometimes where you're dragging your dimension from, that sometimes it won't. You still sometimes have to go through and manually change it on a specific dimension line, just sometimes.
Yep. So that's a matter of just not clicking the dimension, but clicking on the witness line, the extension line. Then you can move those in and out all day long. So remember, if you,
It just
Put-
depends upon where you pulled the dimension from, that sometimes it does that.
yeah, I get it. Cool. All right. So that was number 3. Let's go to the next item. Edit area. Edit area. What is edit area? How many people use edit area? I use edit area a lot more than I thought I would, but I do. So edit area is the ability to take any or all items in your plan and copy and paste them somewhere else and move them. You can move them as a group. You can delete things as a group. So I've got a multi-level plan. I got a foundation, a first floor, but no second floor. And let's say I wanted to expand this house 2 feet or whatever. I'm going to add 2 feet to the left side of the house. So I usually just draw a box first to where I'm going to select. I could even select, because I want to move this window too. So I'm going to break this box and I'm going to move it around that area. So I'm going to move this pink area, this whole area I've got selected, over 2 feet. This could be an edit area. And I'm also going to move my foundation 2 feet. So it'll move. You guys are probably hearing my dog there.
You need to mute yourself, Dan.
I think I do. I'll just, you guys can read my lips, okay? Someone must be here. Hang on. I'll go check. My wife is gone right now, so bear with me 1 second. You guys chat amongst yourselves.
So if you haven't been using that edit area button, try it out, because I was online with somebody the other day and they wanted to take 6 feet out of their house, and we did it in a matter of 5 minutes or less. It probably would have been less if I hadn't been teaching them how to do it at the same time.
So
Yeah,
is
'cause
Dan
you could just
copying
take a
that?
cut out of them.
Dan's copying that CAD box down to the lower level, so that way it's. Do
Oh,
they all?
Here, let
can
me
you
show
move-
mine.
Can you move all floors at the same time?
So you can you can even do this. Like you can use the line tool
Uh-huh.
and do a bunch of weird cuts.
Oh, the joy of home office. Nobody there.
And you can take this and then use the edit area tool, just visible or whatever edit area. And now I can actually move this, and it's going to stretch a lot of those architectural components out.
Will it move both floors at the same time? It'll
That
move
just
all
did it
floors at
all.
the
It
same time.
can. It can if you do all floors, edit area, all floors, it will.
So, is there a button when you do hit edit area?
It's one of the other options. So it's in edit area, there's a drop down
Got it.
menu, and you could do all floors.
Yes.
And then you can edit everything at the same time. Will the dimension,
Yeah,
then the dimensions will
there's a-
automatically change?
There's a difference between edit area and edit area visible. Edit area is going to pick up anything architecturally that might be on those walls, as well as light fixtures or whatever else that might be there that's not turned on in your active layer set.
Such
It'll
as
get the-
furniture
that'll
or
get the
wall
roof.
sconces or anything.
Yeah, it'll also
Okay.
get the roof, anything that's in the structure, the roof, everything.
Got it. And then if you do all floors, it does everything and it redimensions the whole program for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, that's what we're discussing right now is if you hit edit all floors, then it will move everything at the same time.
Yeah,
Correct.
and you can even use it to reflect a drawing. I would say that I have noticed that it makes a big difference if you make sure that your building is at a 0, 0 mark, center 0, 0 mark, if you're going to do something like reflect, because that makes a big difference in some way, and I can't remember why.
You're talking
it's
about
just the
just
math
using-
involved.
You just using
Where
you're
you're
talking-
starting your drawing from 0, 0.
Renee?
No, I'm saying center of building 0, 0. I know that makes a difference when you're going to reflect a drawing.
Are you
Okay.
talking about reversing the plan, Renee, or reflecting it about something?
Reflecting it about something or reversing. Honestly, it's been a while
reversing-
since I've tried it.
If it's reversing the plan, it's taking up everything that's on your screen that you've drawn on your screen. You could have a
The full extent of the
box.
screen, right?
100 feet away, and it's going to reflect it over that whole thing.
That's what it was. Okay, so what I would do when I was reversing a plan is I would draw a CAD box so that it was reflecting about what I wanted it to reflect about center, as opposed to full extent of the
Instead of
drawing.
switching. I'd never used Chief's reverse plan tools. I'd never had much luck with those.
Yeah.
I just do a reflected copy, or not even a copy, just reflect it. Flip
So
it
if
90
you,
degrees,
so just to clarify, so if you want to flip a whole drawing, you want to put a CAD box around it and then reflect it.
Yeah,
And that way it just does what's inside that box.
Mhm.
well, you're reestablishing where the center line is with that CAD box.
Got it.
Center
So then,
according to you,
and
what
will
you
it
want it
do-
to be.
will it do all floors? Because that's different than what Dan's
Yeah.
doing. He's
Yeah,
reflecting.
it'll
It'll do
all
all floors at the
That
same
does a
time.
whole entire plan versus
Perfect.
what Dan's talking about, which is
Just an area.
reflecting from edit area. Yeah.
Right, I'm just selecting an
Thank
area.
you.
Now, it's not going to stretch that tub out, obviously, and I'm not sure what it's going to do with that door. We'll find out in a second, but it will move that whole window over because I put my CAD box around that. And so now I'm going to go into, I went to transform replicate. I'm going to go X minus 2 feet. Okay, so click OK, and I've just added 2 feet to my building, my foundation, everything. There's a door there somewhere that's giving me a problem, but it didn't move the door. It left it where it was, so I'd have to move that over separately. It stretched the roof out. Okay, so now if I had done it the other way, it would have moved the roof, but it would not have hooked the ridge back up automatically. I'd have to go do that manually.
So Dan, did you have to use transform replicate, or could you just use your tab key and tab it over 2 feet?
Well, it wouldn't do the foundation at the same time if I didn't do the all floors at once. So
Right.
then I would-
Well, that's
and
true.
Plus,
but you,
plus I can't select items using a CAD box unless I use edit area.
no, I get
Okay.
that. I get that. But then
That's
you
not-
use transform replicate to move it over 2 feet.
Correct, because
You
I
could have
would
just
do-
grabbed the center. You could have just grabbed the center handle of the box and started
And pulled it
sliding
over.
I could have, yeah.
Okay.
Edit
And you
area
could
all
have just
floors. I
used
could have
your
grabbed
tab
that
and
and
moved
see how
it
I
over
could
where you
stretch it
want to.
out.
Got it.
That's pretty
Okay,
cool. I've never
yeah.
done that before. That's pretty cool.
You know,
That's cool.
minus 24 and hit OK, and I've just added another 2 feet to it. So,
Perfect.
so yeah, you could, any way you move anything else in Chief Architect, you could do that. If you wanted to use your tab key to move it over a little at a time, you could have done that too.
It's
So,
like magic.
it's magic. It's a CAD program. All right. So edit area is a cool tool. You can use it a lot. I use it, if I wanted to create a duplex here, I'd define exactly where the center wall is. All right. So I'm going to draw a line and say I'm going to switch this wall out to, a double wall with a sheetrock between it and all that good stuff. So I'm going to use this line as my flipping point. So I just select edit area. all floors, select the area I want. Now, I can't get this. I don't want to flip my garage too. So let's use a CAD box before I do this. So let's get a CAD box drawn exactly in the areas, the items I want to flip. Just get those items. Now I could break this, my 3 key, pull that down. Now I'm only going to get what's in that box. So copy, edit area, all floors, copy, reflect about. Okay, there's your reflect button. What do you want to reflect about? You're making a mirrored copy. I'm going to click on that line I drew, and there's the other half of my building. Now I would need to, come on, there it goes. No, something didn't work, did it? Oh, you know what it is? I got to put this back here. This edge of the box has to be where it needs to be. Is that what happened? Let me hit undo.
Undo, you lost that part of your building.
Yep. Yep. Something didn't copy, or did I click in the wrong place? Let's move this edge back here. And well, that's the terrain. Okay.
I don't
let's
think
do
that edge
again.
needs to be like that. It should reflect about the line no matter what.
It should. I must have clicked on something wrong. Let me try it again. Edit area. All floors. Copy. Reflected copy. Click on that line. Okay, so here I'm getting predictive move now. I can see what it's doing. I must have clicked something wrong. But there's the other half of my building now. When I click, it's going to paste that. It's going to I'm going to have to replace these two walls with the firewall and hook this together. Okay. And then I have to redo my roof because it's not going to create one big roof it's made a copy of the roof. So I'm going to have to, I could join those together using the tool here. So I've selected both roofs. Now I could use this tool here to, no, that's not right either. I've got to get them right next to each other. Now I can join them using this tool. Yeah, it should have worked, but it didn't. But I click this tool right here to make an outline of the roof, and it creates a new one. But there's how you create it. So anyway, the bottom line is keep in mind you're in a CAD program that's got coordinates. Okay. Using edit area, you can copy something, or I could copy. If I did a room addition in one plan, I want to copy to this plan, I might use edit area and then copy whole position back here. It's whatever. I'm not going to get into it any more than that right now, but edit area is a handy tool. It's there. Use CAD boxes to select what you want to move, and it really works well. All right, let's keep moving. We're running out of time. Let's see. Last thing I had on my list, and we'll jump back to labels for a moment. Where'd my list go? Is calculating areas. Renee already showed you his cool new tool that you can get from Renee Rabbit, rabbitdesign.net, I should say, excuse me. And you could check that out. But what I like to do, and let me just hook this together. For simple projects, you just need to have an area. All right, so when you click next to a building, tab key. Okay, so I click next to a building and I get my highlighter around that building. There's a little icon down here used to draw a CAD box around the living area of your house. So if you look at room names, you see you can have living area and no living area. So you're going to find that in this plan, the stairwell is not part of the living area. See how Chief puts the CAD box around there with dashed lines? Now that's not part of a living area. Okay, so the way I do, pardon?
It counts it on one floor, but not both floors.
Yeah, it'll count it on the foundation because that square footage is part of the plan. But here it's a hole in the floor, so they're not counting it as a living space. If you wanted to count that in there, I could go into that room and say, yeah, include that in the total living area, not exclude it. So that way my stairwell would also be counted as part of the living area. So now when I do that again, let's see, this would be for the sale price, right? You want to count that square footage, not for the assessor. Okay, so just keep that in mind with Chief. Now, I in my plan template, I have a thing called square foot takeoff where I go in here and I'm going to create those CAD boxes. See, when I flipped this plan, it made a copy of that box that was already there. But a lot of times I'll just take these, and because I'm going to have different kinds of living areas, like here, I'll just stretch that over the top of that, and I'll clean this up. I'll get this mess cleaned up by connecting this line to that line using the connect line tool. And okay, so now I've just cleaned that up. All right, so there's my square footage for that foundation. But now I want to do my garage. So in these boxes, I always just, again, this is the super simple method. Okay, I put the word existing. You know, I use this a lot for remodel projects. So I might mark the existing house with this box and the new with the other box. But let's say this is the garage. Okay, I'm going to put garage. And then we use the macro area. From here, we use object specific area. That's your macro. And then I'll just take that box and copy it up here and just put it in place where I need to get that square footage. So it allows me to get exactly where I want to call out the square footage for this room. So that's what I would put on my list. I just have a little spreadsheet set up that I just would add those things to, and it works great for me. Again, if you want to automate that process and get all of the different kinds of areas, go check out Renee's new tool. Very cool. All right. So that's edit area. That's using Chief's edit area and CAD boxes to calculate areas for things in your plan. Very simple to do. Any CAD box will give you a calculation of the area. You guys have any other ways you do it?
My system does it from rooms individually, and then it's, you know, and then we're getting advanced from there, where it's doing some conditional checks for, you know, name of room, type of room, that kind of thing.
Different class.
And then just knowing that you can do a room schedule and you can kind of delimit to create edit area schedules from there.
Impervious surfaces and stuff.
Yeah, impervious surfaces. That one in particular is pretty custom in my system because it will use either a polyline that I give you, or it will use rooms that you name in terms of type. So you can say, hey, anytime it's a deck, anytime it's patio, anytime it's porch, include that impervious area, and also include any polylines with the impervious area tag on it. So, so that's a little bit.
Does it total up all the impervious surfaces, the house and the...
Yeah. My screen. Here's my screen. So if I switch to a plot plan view, I have, here's an impervious area polyline. And so that's producing, you know, oops, I just grabbed a slab instead of the polyline. So there's the polyline, and you can, it doesn't need to be a polyline. It could be a you know, an architectural feature, so long as it has the macro in it that's driving this. And so that's producing impervious area. And then
what's your macro look like in there, Renee?
That one in particular is, let's switch back. But they should have a tool to just switch back to the last view. Okay, let's see. So in the label, it's just producing area and description, but in object information, it's
F7, by the way.
What's that?
F7.
We'll go to last view.
Yeah.
Let's see. How am I doing this? I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Never mind then.
It does it automatically. That's all I know. No.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, if I say, if I come into the lot information, which I have on my sidebar, it says right here that it's going to automatically include anything that's balcony, deck, porch. So if I change the size of my deck, that impervious area is going to change as well. And so it's just a conditional check that's built into the rooms.
Amazing.
And it looks like you have it set to go to the nearest whole number.
Yeah, hold on one second. Sorry.
All right, I need to jump into answering a question
Sorry
from
about that.
Margaret. So I'm going to take back the screen here.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Margaret. We're going to, Renee, you can come back and answer that when you get it all done.
Sure.
All right, so we're going to go here and create a elevation for this kitchen wall. So we're going to draw the camera facing the wall. Here's my elevation. Click to the room. I'm going to click the little pencil icon, and I'm going to name this my, kitchen elevation at refrigerator. Okay, or whatever you want to call it. All right, that's the name of this. This is the vector view. It's going to be a line drawing. Done. All right, so now I could either send that to layout, or I could go to the layout and replace a viewport layout box with that particular item. So I'm going to open the dialog for that. I'm going to go linked view, relink to, it's a cross-section elevation. Here's my kitchen elevation at refrigerator. Click OK. Now let's go check on the label. Edit callout. We're going to use a callout on this because I need to have numbers that relate back to the floor plan. All right, so I'm going to go edit. And in this page, if you wanted to have page number as part of this callout on the layout, you could put that here, but you don't need to. So E6, because the page number is already on the page. The view is on the page, so you don't need to be redundant unless you want to. You could do that. Attributes, I'm going to make I like making my text below line smaller. So I'm going to not match that, and I'm going to change that to a different size. In fact, I'm going to change this to, I like 3/16 for that, and then I'll go 1/8 inch on the label below. And then I like mine to be toward the call out. Again, personal preference, that's how I like mine to look. So that's how my label is going to be on my layout page when I click OK. All right, so I need to now open the dialog one more time because I forgot to set the box scale at 1/2 inch. And make sure that the linked view is set to plot line. And I'm going fast here, but live view, I don't know why that comes up as default quite often, but sometimes you got to switch back to plot lines. You want to be a line drawing. So just switch plot lines here. You don't have to resend it or anything like that. And now when I refresh that, it will be a line drawing. And then I just adjust my box around there. Use your right mouse button to pull the corners of that box up next to your view so you don't have to do one side at a time. Right mouse button on the corner does both sides. Okay, I could have hit the resize tool, I suppose, too, which is when you group select something by holding the control key down, you get this button, and that's your resize tool. You do all 4 sides. So there you go. There's your label, 1/2 inch, label number E6. You could change that number if you want to, but when I go back to my floor plan, that's going to say E6 on page 2. And I just change the size of the, I'm going to switch to my kitchen plan, which will have the that call out smaller. So when I close that view, it'll show up like that. Okay, that's all. So view number E6 on elevation 6 on page 2, you could change that to E1, E2, whatever you want. So the top number you can change manually. The bottom number you leave set to automatic. So whatever page it's on, it's going to be on that page.
Nicely done.
That make sense? Margaret, you got it? Hope that helps. All right. And Margaret, look forward to seeing you in a couple months. Margaret will be at the summit. All right. What else we got? Renee, you got something you want to show back in relation to
Bruce
the area
says,
thing?
can you change area to round to the nearest whole number? Yes, you can. You can put area dot round, or you can also, it depends on which way you want to do it. Could do a bunch of different ways. So let's just take a look at this impervious area polyline, and in the label, I'm going to say, oh, I grabbed the wrong thing again. One of these days I'm going to grab the right thing. There you go. I could do this a number of different ways. I could go area.round. We can even round it to 1 or 2 decimal places if we wanted to. We could go area.seal, which would take it to the ceiling. And you could even go .round, which would mean it's going to round up in this case. Floor would be the opposite. Which is going to take it to the floor, .round. Or we could even say 2_i, which is an integer, which would be a whole number. And, oh, didn't look like it wanted to do that. That's probably because it wants to be a float first or a string. Let's see. Did that work? Yeah. 2 float, so 2_f, and then 2i makes this a whole integer as well. A number of reasons you'd want to do that for scripting, but for the purpose of what you're looking for, probably just .round would work out just fine. You got any other questions about that?
I don't think so.
So now I am showing that I've got impervious areas here, 2498 square foot. If I tab through and drag this out, notice it picks that up. So it's picking up this polyline, but on top of that, it's picking up any decks. So we're at 2,900 square foot right now. It should be that if I draw out a deck, oops, which is a really funny shaped deck. There we go. It picked up that new deck as well. So this is a combination room and polyline is what that's picking up.
Nice.
And these are all just individual schedules that are limited to a category where they are summing similar rows and grouping similar items. And that's probably a little advanced to get into with -2 minutes left on the clock.
-2. We're over by 2. Thank you guys for being here today. Appreciate it. I hope some of this stuff was helpful. Check out the join the waitlist things right on the homepage, and we got some good things coming. And then the summit, please check it out too. Give us a call if you have any questions. We'd love to talk to you. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and
Everybody enjoy.
We'll see you in 3 weeks, I think, because this is the third Friday of the month, but there's 2 more Fridays after us till we get to the next month's first Friday. So, but we'll probably pop up something in the meantime.
Yeah, we might have to do a pop-up show. There you go.
All right. You guys take care. Nice talking to you.
Have a good weekend, you guys.
See you
Take
later.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.